German cosmonaut Reinhold Ewald aboard the Mir orbital station 1997. Officer Chuck Payton checks to see if actress Myrna Ross's bathing suit complies with a 1933 Redondo Beach law. A police dog is not very happy with the football players during a match in Cologne, Germany, 1959. Fisherman Magdalena Colombia, 1939. Russian soldiers teach a German prisoner Russian folk dances, 1915. Handcuffed prisoners turn the shafts of mills with their feet in a prison in Yangon, Myanmar, circa 1900. Her Majesty Queen Marie of Romania, author Franz Mandy, 1896. Francis Ford Coppola on the set of Apocalypse Now, 1978. Vancouver Fire Department displays its Miracle Ladder Canada, 1910. A complete set for the home of a Soviet family. Driving simulators at the 1962 World's Fair, the 21st Century Exposition in Seattle. John Lennon and Yoko Ono with their children from previous marriages, Julian Lennon, 6, and Kyoko, 5, during their visit to John's ancestral homeland of Edinburgh, 1969. Brooklyn cyclists in the 1970s. Carolyn Kennedy with her father John Kennedy in the background and her doll, 1963. The Golden Pagoda in flight in front of Mount Fuji, Japan, 1990. A 1939 Cadillac railcar from the Nevada Northern Railway. England, circa 1920. Photographer William Hope used a multiple exposure technique to make it seem as if girl were floating above the two people sitting. Mila Jovovich, photo Patrick de Marchelier, 1988. A motorcycle ambulance in France, early 20th century. Large Burhanbergen oil field, Kuwait, 1991. A live advertisement for champagne in Berlin, 1921. Monica Bellucci, 1992. Learning traffic rules in the Skazka Kindergarten, 1980s, Vladimir region, Karabanovo. Korean War, an American soldier talks to a child refugee, 1950. Photographers wearing skull masks at the premiere of the film Eyes Without a Face in Paris, France, 1960. The diversity of Volvo's products in the 1980s. The day it first snowed in Miami, 1977. The first and only recorded snowfall in the city's history. A fiery dance performed by astronaut Neil Armstrong at the Solnishko Children's Recreation Center near Leningrad, 1970. Girl Dog and Toy Car, 1920. The father of Xi Jinping, leader of China, driven in a humiliation parade during the Cultural Revolution, with a sign that says Xi Zhongxun, traitor to the party, on September 1967. The Grand Dragon of Fulton County, Georgia, Ku Klux Klan Atlanta, Dr. Samuel Green, surrounded by his assistants, 1946. Shaman with a Tambourine, Shaw's, Tom, early 20th century. A German pilot puts on an electrically heated mask, World War I. Advertisement for Pâté, Hungary, 1974. Sophia Loren by candlelight reads about herself. Rescue operation after the trolley bus fell into the Yerevan Reservoir on September 16, 1976. Bunch of nuns shooting hoops. Nikola Tesla, 1900. A Conveyor R-3Y Tradewind flying boat refueling Grumman F-9 Cougar carrier-based fighters. The ceremonial firing of the Aurora on the 50th anniversary of the Revolution, November 7th, 1967. Queen Victoria, 1854. Paul McCartney is arrested at Tokyo Airport for marijuana possession. Japan, 1980. Matthew McConaughey, 1969. John Travolta and Michael Jackson, 1978. A resident of a liberated Ukrainian village treats a T-34 tank driver with watermelons in 1943. Refugees flee North Korea by train to the south, away from the coming bright communist future, 1950. Ford collides with a commuter train, Los Angeles, 1955. Monastery of Jumping Cats, 1950. Tokyo Firefighters, 1915. Bernard Tussauds, grandson of Swiss model maker Madame Tussauds, holds two wax heads, one of Haile Selassie, Emperor of Abyssinia, the other of Italian dictator Benito Mussolini, September 1935. 1934, Nemeth Parasol experimental aircraft, inventor Stephen P. Nemeth and pilot Dwight Morrow. Capuchin Catacombs in Palermo, Sicily, 1895. Young Boris Johnson, the future Prime Minister of Great Britain and Belgium in the 1970s. Gina Lollobrigida watches the first televised broadcast of President Kennedy's press conference from her villa in Rome, 1962. A steam locomotive moves through a flooded street during the Boston flood, 1915. Newspaper Delivery Boys, Mexico City, 1977. Hugo motor carriage, 3.5 horsepower, France, 1897. The New York City collision, a major aviation disaster that occurred on the morning of Friday, December 16, 1960. The Black Sea Fleet battleship Perovskaya Kommuna fires its main guns at German troops storming Sevastopol, December 1941. Children from a school in Pont-à-Mousson wearing gas masks. Third French Republic, February 1916. Jagannath's Chariot in Madras, Chennai, 1850s. Drying pants after a hurricane, Boston, 1938. American armoured vehicles in the port of Hamburg before being shipped overseas for recycling, Germany, 1946. On the set of Back to the Future Part 2, filming the scene with the flying skateboards, 1989, United States. A Wedding in Ruined Beirut, Lebanon, 1983. Peugeot motorboat, 1925. Georgian SSR International Youth Camp Sunny Valley and Bakriani Football on the Snow, 1969. Paul McCartney and David Bowie, 1983. Flight Simulator, 1942. This is the first artificial lit underground photo taken in the catacombs in Paris by pioneer in photography Nadar. Beauty Institute Moscow, 1963. The Bell S-22 experimental vertical takeoff and landing aircraft from an unusual angle. A quack-utal man wearing a ritual mask during a ceremony. Waitresses running with drinks, New York, 1967. Since 1934, Montmartre has hosted a grape harvest festival on the second weekend of October. In the 1950s, it featured Moulin Rouge dancers. The first public film screening by Auguste and Louis Lumière in 1895 at the Grand Café on Boulevard des Capucines in Paris. McDonald's restaurant in Cambridgeshire, United Kingdom. 1993. Audrey Hepburn and George Peppard in the film Breakfast at Tiffany's, United States, 1961. Bill Peckett, London Zoo's monkey keeper, shows Mr. Jiggs that his waist circumference is 119 centimetres. Jerry Fox, Brooklyn Borough Hall's official cat, wearing the custom glasses made for him after he went blind. He saved the building from a fire in 1904 and was put on the city payroll as assistant janitor. Paul and his wife Linda tease Yoko Ono. On the 5th of April 1968, RAF pilot Alan Pollock of No. 1 Squadron flew his Hawker Hunter between the upper and lower sections of Tower Bridge in London. The Volgodonsk terrorist attack was an explosion near a residential building in Volgodonsk, Rostov Oblast, that occurred on September 16, 1999. Slide and Car of Tsarevich Alexei in the Alexander Palace, Russian Empire, 1911. An Unusual Snowman in Boston, 1935. Artists in the 1900s were having too much fun with double-exposed photos. Case in point, this 1900 photo from the Corbis Historical Collection of a ghostly man sitting outside in a suit and bow tie. New York City Subway by Jamel Shabazz, 1983. Nigerian Girls' Hairstyles, 1960 to 1970. Children dressed as Fidel Castro, United States, 1959. The first Stonewall Anniversary March was held on June 28, 1970. The annual march continues to this day. The Jew-Eater Carnival in Germany, 1939. Madaheri's Mugshot, 1917. Gina Lollobrigida greets Yuri Alexeyevich Gagarin, 1961. A tugboat tows a Royal Netherlands Navy Brigade S, P-13. A Atlantic to shore after it made an emergency landing on water, 1973. This vintage 1930s Halloween photo shows an eerie-looking figure with a homemade mummy costume. Soapbox racing, 1960s. African Americans are attacked by dogs and water cannons during a protest against segregation, 1963 in Birmingham, Alabama. Testing of the Bell 30 helicopter, 1946. Racing milk crates in Baltimore, Maryland, 1973. British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher in Krylotskoye, Moscow, 1988. Children Learning to Read and Write, Tunisia, 1914. Murmansk after the bombing, 1942. Mick Jagger, 1982. May Day Parade in Leningrad, 1938. A three-level railroad crossing in Richmond, Virginia, United States, 1950. The making of Disney's 101 Dalmatians, 1961. Red Army Pyramid, 1920s. Russian Empire, Nicholas Romanov and Matilda Kshasinskaya, 1890s. A dazzling 70s disco dancer. Three girls strolling past two British soldiers keeping watch for snipers after a spate of rioting in Belfast, Northern Ireland, 1981. Maryland's only female justice of the peace, Rita D. Morris of Prince George County, fights bootleggers and gambling dens with the aid of well-armed lawmen, January 23, 1926. Jane Mansfield, with a hot water bottle in the shape of Jane Mansfield, advertising circa 1957 United States. Alain Delon and Mylène Demongeau, 1965. Workers on the construction of the Forth Road Bridge in Scotland, 1961. Russian women and children lay flowers on the bodies of American soldiers who liberated them from a German concentration camp, Hilden, Germany, April 18, 1945. Construction of the Berlin Wall, 1961. A slide in the shape of a giant bogatir's head accompanied New Year's celebrations on Theatre Square in Kirov for almost the entire second half of the 20th century. Chuck Norris on the beach in Cannes, May 1980. The rink's smooth surface is created using a high-tech barrel device. 7 Winter Olympic Games, Cortina d'Ampezzo, Italy, January 13, 1956. Uri Geller and his Cadillac decorated with bent spoons, 1976, Israel. 1952, Queen Elizabeth pulls baby Prince Charles out of a window. A man and his dog wearing a helmet ride a motorcycle. United States President Richard Nixon bowling, September 17, 1971. A Navajo man wearing a ceremonial mask, 1904. Sheep and a goose sharing an elevator together at New York's Waldorf Astoria Hotel. Two women wearing special gigantic masks made for a Mardi Gras celebration in Venice Beach, California in 1932. A Soviet officer reads the text of the capitulation of the German army to the population in Berlin, May 1945. St. Lucia's Day in Varberg, Sweden, 1960.